God mystifies many people, and when I was a child, it mystified me. There's a story of Moses leading the children of Israel, and he comes to the Red Sea, and he says, Manny, the boats. Manny is the press agent. Manny says, what boats? He said, my God, Manny, did you forget to provide the boats to get across the sea here? Oh, Moses, I'm so sorry I forgot. You forgot? Oh, my God. What do you expect me to do? Do you expect me to part the waters and have the Jews go across and then have the waters come back and drown the pursuing Egyptians? Is that what you expect? Manny said, boss, you do that and I'll get you 2 pages in the Old Testament.
Small farmer in a kibbutz, big Texan, comes to visit him. Looks at the land and says, how big is your farm? He says, well, he says, it's 200 feet by this and 300 feet by that. He says to the Texan, how big is your farm? He said, well, let me tell you something. He said, I get up in the morning, and he said, I get in my car, and I could drive till sundown and never reach the end of my land. And the little Israeli said, you know, I once had a car like that, too. Sense. Very destructive, very incisive, you know. Eastern European joke. The richest man in the town dies. He was a terrible man. The rabbi felt that he wouldn't deliver a eulogy. He would say the prayers, but he wouldn't deliver a eulogy. And they threatened him, they did everything. He said, the richest man, and you know, his 3 brothers were still alive, and they controlled the town. They said, Rabbi, you must say a few words. So we got up there, and he said, here lies a man that should have died 10 years ago. We would have all been better off. He says he was a thief, a liar, a cheat, an atheist. He did no good for no one. He says, but standing next to me are his 3 brothers. Compared to them, he was an angel. Wipe out.
You know, the new Jewry of today do not know any Yiddish. Like there's a wonderful story I do about this man who goes to a country club and he's turned down because he's Jewish, obviously. And he sees the name of a man, one of the members on the board. Outside he sees names like Jefferson, Jones, Williams, and he sees Goldwater. He says, they got a Goldwater, and they turned me down, Schwartz. And he calls up this Goldwater and says, Mr. Goldwater, how come you got into this club? These anti-Semites, they turned me down. I'm a Goldwater. He said, Mr. Schwartz, my name is Goldwater. It's not Goldwasser or Goldwasser. I'm a Goldwater. My children are Goldwaters. My father was a Goldwater, and my grandfather, Oliver Sholem, was a Goldwater. Now, Oliver Sholem is purely Yiddish. Only a Jew would say that. It's like, so that's such a funny story if the audience understands. It's a scream.
Old Jewish couple, they're about 90 years old, go to a divorce lawyer, and they say they want to be divorced. And the lawyer says, you're 90 years old. You want to be divorced now? And they go, yes, we've always wanted to be. We've never enjoyed being with each other. Been married 60 years. He said, why did you wait so long? She said, we were waiting for the children to die.
This woman took her dog to Israel, and she called El Al Airlines. She called him, this is an Israeli guy tells me this joke. She kept calling El Al. She says, you know, I'm taking my dog. You might make sure. He says, yes, you got to put him in a case. Put the dog in a case. We put the case down below, and of course you can take the dog. Okay. She checks in, oh, take care of that dog. Don't worry. They get off in Tel Aviv. They get off the airport. She gets the luggage. Where's my dog? Where's the case? And all. Gee, the case is lost. They're looking. She's screaming. They're running, and they finally find the case in the baggage room. They open it up, and the dog is dead. Oh, Gavalt, they're screaming, what are we going to do? This woman will kill us because she's carrying on with her dog. They run and get the manager. He runs, what is it? They tell him the story. This woman's out there already an hour waiting for the dog. She's screaming and howling, and the dog died. The dog is dead. And he says, listen, it's a Cocker Spaniel. Look, next door there's a place, a pet shop. You'll go buy another Cocker Spaniel the same size. You'll never know the difference. They run and buy a Cocker Spaniel. They take the dead dog out. They put the Cocker Spaniel in. You know, oh, lady, we found it. It's about time. She's shrieking. I'm going to sue her. Thank God you got it. I thought you lost my dog. She opens up the case and looks in. She says, that's not my dog. So what do you mean it's not your dog? How do you know? She says, my dog died. I was taking him to Israel to bury him.
They have a place here, you know, it's called the Catskill Mountains, and it's known as the Borscht Circuit. And That's where it's up in the mountains, where everything is, yeah, actually, mostly Jewish. Mostly Jewish. They have an Italian area there now. And the comics that go up there usually, well, they see the Jewish audience, they play to whom they relate to. And they tell a lot of funny stories, like, see if I can remember them. That'll be the day when I forget them. I remember, oh yeah, about, see, these places up in the mountains, they have widows up there and divorcees that are in their 60s, and they're still looking for a man, you know. And they tell a story about this widow meets this new man that just came into the hotel the first time she's seen him, and she walks up to him and she says, "Hello?" She said, I've never seen you here before. He said, "I'm very happy to be here." She said, "You're such a good-looking man. What do you do for a living?" He says, "Nothing." She goes, "Uh-huh." I mean, where do you come from? He said, "Well, I just got out of the can." She says, you're in the toilet?" He says, "No, I don't think you understand me, dear miss. I just got out of school, college." "Oh, you just graduated?" "No. It's a colloquial way. There's a certain way we say it. When we say can or school, we mean that we've been away, serving time." "You served time?" "You know, yes." He says, "I took a hatchet and I chopped my wife up into 12 pieces." She looked at him and she said, "Oh, you're single."
We're gonna hitchhike up to the Catskill. We know the highway, Route 17. We're gonna hitchhike up to the mountains, up to the finest resort we have seen. His name was Finger, no mountain Azoy, in Azoy, in Azoy. Stop about it, and give his gate a boy. One bell, David is destroyed. We're gonna hitchhike up to the Catskill while we are singing a merry tune. And we'll get married up in the Catskills, and we will then have a real honeymoon.
Some 90 miles north of the George Washington Bridge lie the Catskill Mountains, alias the Borscht Belt. For generations, this famous resort area has catered in every sense to the New York Jewish community. It has also produced some of America's greatest comedians: Danny Kaye, Jerry Lewis, Jan Murray, Jackie Mason, Alan King, Red Buttons, Jackie Leonard, Henny Youngman, Sid Caesar, just some of the talents who worked the hundreds of hotels and bungalow colonies before going on to star on Broadway, in films, and on television.
Well, the Borscht Belt, they call it the Borscht Belt because allegedly they eat borscht. You know, it was the Jewish Alps, they called it, and so forth. I think I was very fortunate because at the time that I came around, I think that was the greatest school that ever has been for performers and for comedians. And I'll tell you why. See, the years, of course, it doesn't exist today. They still got the Borscht Belt, but today the hotels are all tremendous. They're magnificent. They're great places to go. In fact, it's the best vacation place in the world for anyone to go. It's the most reasonable. You know, you can go there, golf, tennis, you eat 4 times a day. You know, the food's pouring out of you. No, it's the best food in the world. So, and they have everything, and, you know, and it would cost you less than if you checked into a hotel in the key city. See, when I used to work there as a kid, as a young comic coming up, we had staffs. So it was the same staff that entertained the same customers, the same people, same vacationers, and they would stay 3-4 weeks. So look what has to happen to your mind. Look how facile you have to become. So Monday night, we used to have game night. In other words, Sunday, the people would check in. Monday was like a get-together. So the athletic director would run the games and all that, but I would be the ones that interviewed them. And it was all ad lib, and I had to make fun. Hello, now what's your name? Where do you come from? Say hello to this, bum, 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 whatever they said. We'll make a joke, make fun, make laughs, come a bum, and tumble, and carry on, right? So this was a test, boy, for your brains, for your think, for your ad-lib aptitude and so forth. Tuesday night, they might have campfire nights. They have a big campfire. Everybody would tell stories. I used to throw myself in the campfire to get the laugh, you know, just to carry on, act like ghouls, act like ghosts, do all kinds of crazy things. Wednesday night was cabaret night. Well, I was the MC. I'd come out with the turned-up hat. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, 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 boom. Do the jokes, be the master ceremony, so forth and so on. Thursday night might have been something. Friday night was drama. I would do a drama. I would act in a drama. Saturday night was a review. We put on big sketches, big songs and dances and things like that. Sunday night was concert night. I'd come out with a pinchback white suit, $18 the suit cost, I remember. So, and then I'd go to small mouth. And now our violinists will play Rimsky-Korsakov. I didn't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
All right, that's enough of me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a wild-looking audience. Are you in the mood for some fun? Let me hear you. Okay, now I'll tell you what we're going to do. This is not a contest, although you all seem to think it is. This is the Lucky Raffle Dance Show that we do every week here at the Raleigh Hotel. To start it off, we would like to bring up one couple who are terrific. Mr. and Mrs. Reingold. The Reingold. How you doing, folks? How nice you look tonight.
Thank you.
You look like the couple from the top of the wedding cake. What can I tell you? No, you look very nice. And what are you going to do for us tonight?
Lindy House.
Lindy, and you are from?
Bayside.
From Bayside, Queens. You're from Queens. Nobody's here from normal parents. I don't know what's going on. Okay, here we go. Oh, yes. Now watch carefully. As Mrs. Reingold lifts Mrs. Reingold over his shoulder into an aeroplane spin, through his legs and over again, but not tonight. Work it out.
I went to the mountains one year to be a busboy. Now, a busboy is the hardest work there is in the world, but it's too hot in New York City during the summer, and everybody goes to the Catskill Mountains, so I couldn't get anything but a busboy's job. I picked up a tray of dishes on the first day, and as soon as I picked it up, it fell down. I couldn't carry dishes. It wasn't for me. I never did a day's work before, and the boss immediately fired me and made me a lifeguard in the hotel. And I couldn't swim. I was ashamed to tell him I can't swim because I knew that I'd become a busboy again if I can't swim. So I said, compared to a busboy, I'd rather take my chances as a lifeguard, besides which I'm not taking a chance. They're taking a chance. I'm not going to swim. Let them swim. If they get wiped out, it's not my business. On the other hand, I said to myself, it's not nice to see people drown right in front of me. So I figured this is not too good a job. I figured I better be honest enough to tell them I can't swim. My conscience started to bother me, so I told the boss I can't swim. He said, who cares?
What was the Catskills like? This is a great Jewish area.
This is a great Jewish area, and it's filled with what's left, really, of first-generation people that really do still speak Yiddish at home and things like that. And they always would send me up there because they always think, oh, she'll do very well with these people. And I don't do very well with these people. But they pay me a lot of money, so I keep going. And I have a little tradition now because I go on stage and I just bomb. They don't like me, and they go, well, don't you think you're terrific? And then I come off, and my manager holds a towel, and I hit my manager with a towel, and I say, I'm never coming back. And then I run out, I take my bow, and I run off, and I hit him again with the towel, never coming back. But they just don't laugh, because when I say to them, you could, let me see your ring, and they'll show me the ring. I'll say, that's swimming jewelry. Not good enough. And they go, no, wait a second, this is 7 carats, you know. And I'll say, put that in the sun, let it grow a little bit, and then come back. And they get very upset, because this is something they really believed was wonderful.
What else do you say to them?
We talk about our fur coats, and I'll take a fur coat, and I'll hold it up, and I'll say, this will real. This will really be nice. And the woman gets, it is real, it is real, it is real. And they get very upset, because I just keep that. And I talk to them about the husbands looking for very young women. You know, they don't like to hear that. Husbands cheating, they don't want to hear that. I can go through an audience, I can pick out who's married, who's single. And they get hysterical because married women sit. Married. The single girls sit perky, boobies up, smile, talk of the tongue. Hi, how are you? You know, and they don't like that.
What a weekend you must be having. I envy you. The excitement, the hustle, the bustle, the yawning that you're doing, the yawning, the looking at each other saying, why? Probably got up early in the morning, went to the lobby, got a couch in the lobby, you sat on a couch in that lobby, an hour later, another couch, Ethel over here, we'll sit on this couch over here. Let's look at the lobby at this angle. I like this angle better than that angle over there. We'll go to the room, we'll sit down, watch a little television, go to the dining room, we'll sit, have something to eat, watch a show, we'll sit down, watch a show, go to the coffee shop, we'll sit, go back to the lobby, we'll sit. You didn't have to rent a room here. A chair you should have brought with you here. Because you got to get up early in the morning and you sit and you look at each other and say, I can't sit anymore. I didn't go away to the Nevele just to sit. How about a walk? A walk? Where? Oh, outside. Outside? They have an outside here, too? Yes, we'll walk outside and we'll look at the parked cars here. We'll take a walk down the road. We'll go to the fence. We'll look out through the fence, maybe. We'll see what's going on in the other joint over there. And all you see are people looking back at you through the fence. Gambling. Here's where we need gambling. Here at the Nevele and the Catskills. Oh, what gambling they would have here. What excitement. Yes, you're absolutely right. The two people that are looking to make a bet. Can you see if there was gambling here now in the lobby? People running around yelling, where's the dreidel table? The gimel, give me $50 on the gimel. Press the chur, make the vuv look like a shin, and spin that sucker. What slot machines they'll have up here when they get gambling? What symbols on the slot machines? No cherries, no oranges. Prunes. Yeah, you get 3 prunes in a row, and then you can go to the crap table. When they get gambling here, they're going to clean you out one way or another. Or play the religious slot machines they'll have here. Play the conservative Judaism machine. Get 3 mezuzahs in a row and you can kiss the machine. Or play the Orthodox machine. Get 3 Torahs in a row and you can pick the machine up and walk around the casino and have other people kiss the machine.
There was something about Jewish humor that I found maybe different than other humor in that it was so honest. They're ruthlessly honest. And I didn't find that in other kinds of comedians, or certainly in films. I mean, I laughed at Bob Hope and other comics, but the only Jewish comedians I think you would find when I was a young kid would be maybe on radio or in personal appearances, nightclubs, in the Borscht circuit, certainly in New York, where it was the breeding place for all the young Jewish comedians. I think maybe the basis of Jewish humor is Talmudic reasoning, which is you look at every side of the question. And so 2 men sitting and talking, one will take one side of the argument, the other will take the other, and then they may very well reverse it just for the sheer joy of going over it and around it. And so it becomes very funny when you can go either way. I think that Talmudic reasoning, again, looking for the logic of something. That's, as I said early on, that for me, the basis of all of my humor is looking for the logic and pointing out somebody who is illogical. And I've noticed that in every play that I've ever written, when they see somebody being illogical and they laugh, they refer to themselves or to someone in their family. I hear them saying, that's just like Pop, that's just like Mom, or whoever. But that's the origin of it for me. I never thought of using Jewish humor as a weapon, maybe just as an identification of, I knew that I could get very far with my Jewish humor. And I didn't know where it was that I wanted to get to. I mean, I didn't necessarily want it to make me wealthy or famous. It was doing the humor that I got the fun out of. Laughter has always been a thing that has saved me. In all of the tragedies in my life, in the anguish, whatever it is I've had, in being able to see it with some kind of humor. Again, I don't know if it's Jewish humor or not. When I worked on your show of shows, I would say we had 7 writers. I think they were all Jewish. And almost every comedy show during the early to late 50s that I worked on, or that even were around, were almost always written by Jews. And predominantly the comedians were Jews. And they were, I think, even on a national scope, Jack Benny and George Burns and so many others.